Inside this isolation chamber, the outside world ceases to exist. Two strangers have been sealed away for 100 days, separated from their lives by a heavy steel door and a singular goal: surviving this void to claim a $500,000 fortune. Without clocks, windows, or natural cycles, time becomes an abstract concept. The room is flooded with constant, unyielding light that never dims, stripping away the basic biological cues required for sleep and sanity. Their survival depends on a finite supply of identical canned goods. It is a nutritionally complete diet, but its absolute monotony serves as a daily reminder of the sensory deprivation they are enduring. The primary threat in this environment is the psychological erosion caused by a total cognitive vacuum. When the brain is denied all external stimulation, it eventually begins to turn on itself. To combat the emptiness, the contestants began manufacturing their own reality. They spent hours meticulously hand-drawing a deck of playing cards, using nothing but paper from their journals and a single pen. They even managed to hack a dead television antenna by stripping down a wire with a kitchen knife. This crude modification allowed them to pull in local race car broadcasts, providing a vital link to the world outside. This shared struggle against the boredom of the room forged an immediate, essential alliance. Strangers who had never met were suddenly operating as a single unit, their survival dependent on their ability to work together. This reveals a core psychological rule of the chamber. In a state of absolute scarcity, the human drive for connection overrides individual ego, forcing a level of cooperation that is nearly impossible to maintain in the real world. Every 10 days, the prize pool is at risk. At first, they successfully shield the $500,000 while rejecting $50,000 comforts like smart beds. But eventually, their resolve fractures, justifying smaller taxes for psychological reliefs like coffee or phone calls. The most devastating moment came on day 60, when they declined a mystery box containing 2 free Teslas. The realization that their discipline cost them a massive windfall broke their spirits. This regret fundamentally shifted how they valued the remaining prize money. The missed opportunity created a deprivation that even the $500,000 goal could no longer satisfy. By day 70, the exhaustion was total. They were offered a final blind auction, a bundle containing every turned-down luxury item, hidden behind a single price tag. The offer was a total escape. It included beds, gourmet food, and the Harry Potter collection, providing hundreds of hours of distraction. Determined not to miss another opportunity, they bid $100,101. It was a massive portion of their winnings, but ending the boredom was worth the price. The influx of furniture and entertainment transformed the sterile cube, overriding the sensory deprivation with the familiar comforts of a modern living room. They had successfully bought their way out of the experiment, turning a psychological prison into a high-end vacation. But the introduction of abundance had an unexpected side effect. Without the shared threat of boredom to unite them, the contestants immediately began to grate on one another. This data shows the abundance paradox in action. As comfort levels rise, the social glue that kept the pair synchronized disappears, causing interpersonal cooperation to collapse. The friction manifested in petty daily disputes. One person began hoarding the limited hot water for long showers, while the other grew resentful of shared activities, eventually hiding the dice for their Monopoly board game. Their coping mechanisms became incompatible. While one contestant used the extra energy for late-night exercise, the other sought total isolation, retreating to the bathroom just to find a moment of silence. The very luxuries they bought to preserve their sanity turned their environment into an inescapable domestic purgatory, proving that comfort can be just as corrosive to a bond as scarcity. On day 100, they faced the final hurdle, a split or steal dilemma that would determine who actually walked away with the remaining $360,000. If they both chose to split, they would share the money. But if one person chose to steal, they could take it all, provided the other person still tried to share. If they both stole, they would both leave empty-handed. The tension was fueled by the month of resentment they had just endured. It was unclear if the frustration of their luxury phase would outweigh the foundational trust they had built during the first 70 days. Despite the weeks of bickering and the divergent lifestyles, the room flashed green. They both chose to split the prize. their initial bond surviving the final month of friction. This outcome suggests that the trust forged in the initial phase of total scarcity was more durable than the petty irritation of the final month. While the comforts nearly tore them apart, the foundational alliance they built when they had nothing was ultimately what secured their fortune.